What's up, guys? Andrew here from Trading Options Daily. Today, I'm going to walk you through how you can set up your very own trader workstation on your computer, on your Mac, on your desktop, on your PC, whatever you use. When you're not using the mobile app on your phone, you can set it up this way with the desktop platform. I'm going to walk you through that today. We're going through charts, we're going through portfolio, we're going through options change, we're going through order entry, we're going through news, everything else, how you linked all those stuff, configuring your chart, everything's going to be covered today in the video. Check out the video description for some extra notes and time shoutouts for these kind of things. Let's get into it and let's open it up, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys to get started. Okay, if this is your first time opening up your workstation on your computer, it might look a little something like this, and there's a couple of things right off the hop you need to know about. If it doesn't look exactly like this, that's fine. We can go ahead and we can just start editing some things here, and we'll make sure that we get you up to speed where you need to go. Okay, if you want to just close your account down, you just click the little X in the bottom. You have your file, you have your account there, the help button there. Okay. Those will kind of give you some different options you can do. And we want to look at new window. If we want to add anything in here, we can go through this and add anything we want to see. If we want to see some different kind of news, we want to see a calendar, if we want to see a volatility lab, anything you want to use for your trading, it can be accessed in this search bar with new window. That's going to add new windows like these. These are all windows. See the barrier here around this? These are all windows, and they're all just displaying different data for you. So when you get in here, if you're missing anything that you need to do, what you need to do, number one, is you need to go and click this little lock button and unlock everything. And then when you do that, you're going to see this green box appear around the outside of the actual setup. And that's going to allow you to make changes and resize things, okay? Myself personally, I don't use a couple of these things. I don't have the news going down for me all day long. I use my news on my phone, or I look at different kind of apps for that. I don't need the news, so let's get rid of that right now. Boom, it's gone. The other thing I don't really use is this portfolio, the quote details. I don't really use that. Just a little note here, you don't want to drag and drop and like leave things on top of other things, because if you did that and you went and you close this off and click that lock button again, see how it says it contains overlapping tiles? It's going to let you do that, but you don't want to do that, because if you have this up here and you have things behind other things, if you click this actual portfolio tab, this is going to disappear behind it, and you have to go find it and click it. And I want you guys to lose stuff behind everything else. So just make sure everything's got its own place and its own defined area. I'm actually going to get rid of this because I don't use this at all when I'm trading. You can keep it if you want to. Okay. I'm going to move the chart down, and I'm going to move it just down here to this bottom area and fill that area. I'm going to move this little bottom piece of the portfolio tab up and just extend the chart out to the right. To fill up that grid behind, you see the grid lines? That's what the space you have to work with. I'm actually going to move this up a little bit higher and just keep that up there. I'm going to add a new window. Okay, I'm going to add an options chain. You can search through the top here, options chain, if you want. I just know that it's there and I've used it before, and it's actually down here in the options tool. So let's bump that up, bump that in there. We are in business now. I'm going to drag that up. Once it's loaded, I think I can until it's loaded. There we go. A little bit of lag. It's all good. Okay, and let's bring this down. Boom, baby, we are in business. Okay. Now, if you want to just lock your tab up there, I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger, make this a little bit smaller. Okay, just give you size, lots of area to see on the chart. And I'm going to click that lock to then lock and save these changes. Okay, that's how you get started. Now, let's go into actually customizing some of these things and laying them out in some other kind of groovy things that you can do. So right now, everything on the page that you're seeing is all linked. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you go to our favorites in our actual watch list tab, you can go and see and click through different things. And you'll notice when I do this, that the chart, the options chain, the bid ask, the order entry all changes. Disney, Facebook, Microsoft, everything keeps flipping around. Well, why is it doing that? And the reason, because everything is linked right now. See this chain link right here that's green, and this one here, and this one here, and this one here, and this one here. It's telling that everything is linked and everything is set up and ready to work in tandem with each other. If you don't want something to work in tandem, you don't want it to update. If you're looking at a chart, let's say here, maybe you have a chart on another screen somewhere and you want to actually just kind of add another chart. Let's do that. Let's go new window. Let's go chart. And I want to check, let's say I want to check this one I'm going to do is the SPY, the SPY. I'm just keep that on. Right now, everything's going to update to the SPY. See, this chart did, this is updating, everything's updating because it's all linked still. So if we want to unlink things, we just click the little chain link in the top right, and we're operating group 4, the green link. So I'm going to go group 1 here and do that. And maybe I want to just take this, open it up, and I'm going to pull this off to a different monitor because I don't need it, but I just want to show you that you can unlink things, and that way they're not going to get in the way, or you're not going to update. If you want to just keep that on a different monitor, So you always have the SPY or the QQQ or the Dow Jones, whatever you're tracking for the day, you can have that on a different monitor and it won't be touched or messed up. It'll just sit there and it'll keep updating for you because it's not linked anymore, okay? You can actually change the whole grouping and you can change that by using this up here. If I go to this, now if I click on something, it actually is going to change these, but anything else that is red, it's going to change. All the red things are now linked. So if I had another options chain that was red, or if I change this to red and I click on Apple, it should update. Yeah, it's going to update. All the green stuff's going to update. If I go down here and I go Apple put calls, if I go Microsoft, that's going to change. Okay, in this chart that I had here, if I go from Microsoft to the SPY, okay, this is going to update. And that chart is going to update as well. It updated to the SPY as well. Okay, so that's how that works with the links. And just put this and tuck it away for later. I'm going to change this back to green, group 4. I'm going to change this back to group 4. So we're all working on the same wavelength here. And let's get into it and let's get into the chart. And that's one of the things that I like to update first. And you can go through the chart and you can go through different kinds of candlestick sizes. You can go through different time periods. If you're a line graph trader, you go 1 month, 1 year line chart, okay? And it'll show you a line chart. Again, if you click a different company, it's going to change the chart for you. And let's go to a daily candlestick chart, because that's what I like to use. And you have your legend down here showing you the different prices, high, low for the candlesticks. You have your volume at the bottom and the dates also there as well. It's a little bit bare bones right now though. Yeah, you want to add some stuff to this chart, make it a little bit easier to understand and interpret. So let's add some moving averages in here and get the chart up to speed, okay? Let's go to edit and let's go to studies. Let's go, and you can actually search these here. If you want to go moving average, you can search moving average and it'll pull up all these different kind of options for you. And the thing is, if I want a simple moving average, I want to have to type in simple moving average and it'll show up, because if it's very, very technical on what you're actually searching, or you can go through and drop these down, drop the moving average tab down and you can go through it and then find simple moving average. Let's add that in. Let's add 2 of them. Just double click the add button. If you want to take one out, you can remove it, but I'm going to add it back in. And let's also add in some Bollinger Bands for this section here. I want to make sure that you can update the moving averages to 200. And let's go with a 50, because those are the 2 main ones that I like to use and that other people use because they're psychological levels. Let's get in there and do that. That is done. And let's go OK. And let's just hit apply and see what the chart looks like now. Let's close that off. Okay. So we see we have some lines on the chart now. It's getting colorful. It's getting like Christmas lights there. And Santa Claus is coming to town. Let's go with the candlesticks. And we ought to make sure that we look and can understand this data and it's looking okay with us. So right now we have yellow for the upper Bollinger Band, red for the lower Bollinger Band, 20 moving averages between the 2 bands. That's the green one. 200-day moving averages is purple and 50-day is blue. So if you're okay with those colors, like you can leave them there and you can keep doing that. They'll show up like that forever. And that's cool. But if you want to go back and edit those colors, you can do that too. You go back to edit, go back to studies, and you have these kind of things in there already. I'm going to change the 50-day. I'm going to make that green. Okay, click apply. And I'm going to go in and click the Bollinger Bands and have the moving average of the Bollinger Bands just be this kind of taupe. They say taupe is very soothing, as they say in Ocean's 11. So it's all good. And I want to change the actual upper and lower band as well. Upper band, I'm going to go light blue. Lower band, I'm going to use the same color, light blue, and apply. Okay, and also the 200-day moving average, I'm going to go red because that's a light color I like to use for that, and apply. And now we see we have the new chart, 200 days red, 50 days green. EMA 20 is that kind of taupe color, and then we have light blue, upper, lower, and you can see the charts there. Also on your chart, you're going to be able to zoom in and out. If you scroll with the mouse, the wheel on your mouse, you can scroll all the way in. Just gives you a different time preference for the candlesticks. You can scroll all the way out and go back out to that 1 year. That's as far as you can go with this kind of setup. If you go and you want to draw lines on your chart, you can just click and drag, click and hold, and they'll draw some lines for you, give you the slope as well, which is kind of cool. I use a program called TradingView for my actual charting. And if you want to get rid of these, you just click remove all trend lines. Check out the description of this video below just to have a link to TradingView. There's an affiliate link there for myself. It's $30 for me, $30 for you if you set up for a paid account. There are free accounts which are more than capable. So start there if you want, get comfortable, and then go paid version if you want to. But that link is there for you in the video notes of this tutorial. So if you want to add one more thing, let's go and let's add a momentum study known as RSI, relative strength index. Let's add that in. Let's go 20. Let's make that pink at the bottom. Okay, apply. And it came in blue. So let's go back and make it pink. These are just the colors that I'm familiar with. So you can use whatever you want for these colors, but the RSI is down at the bottom now. And let's also add in a view. So we want to be able to see this data. Like right now, I want to know where I'm at on the chart. I don't really have any kind of crosshairs for that. So let's put some crosshairs on. And let's do that like that. And now you can kind of see where the stock price is at. It gives you kind of a better visual description of what you're looking at. So that's good to go. And you have RSI down here. You have your high-low candle closing price there for the candlesticks, and you have your chart there telling you what the moving averages are as well. So that's pretty good. That's the chart setup, okay? And if you want to change anything, again, you have the kind of able to do that. Let's go back to a line chart, 1 year line chart. I don't think you can zoom in on these. No, it's going to just give you that line graph, and you're going to be able to see it. If you want to kind of move it around, you can go daily, weekly, more. Let's go with a daily candle. Can we go hourly line chart? We got hourly candles. More. 6 months. Oh, there you go. Okay, we can go. So we cover over that 6 months. It gives you different options. You can go different kind of candlestick setups. You can go 6 month line chart. You're just starting out. Probably a good idea to go for a 1 year line chart. And I don't think this is going to load. Maybe, oh, there you go. Okay, it's zoomed way out. And it's a 6 month line chart. So there you go. Let's go back to candlesticks because that's what I use. Okay, and I actually don't even keep the chart on this page. I keep it on a different page, and I like to just move it aside, and I'm going to do that now and throw it onto my other monitor over here. Bring this baby down, and what do I put there instead? That's a great question. I usually put some kind of just filler, or I maybe have a little bit of news in there, but sometimes I just drag this all the way down. And I'll just open up my watch list like that if I have a lot of companies that I'm kind of tracking and doing some stuff on, okay? Which brings us to the next kind of thing to look at, and that is the actual watch list itself. So if you want to add companies in here, let's go Nike. Just type it in, boom. If you want to add in Intuit, which is a tax company, let's see if we can get that. It's going to give you a list of different companies, and you can kind of search, pick the ticker you want. So that's in there like that. You always want the stock in there, and it's going to build this watch list for you. And you can actually filter the watch list by financial instruments. So just do it alphabetically. If you want to get rid of these things like USD, you don't need it. Just click on it, click delete. Euro USD, delete, 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 delete. Okay, they're all gone. And that's how you get rid of them, and just keep adding them back in if you want to after. Let's go Twitter. I think that's Twitter. Yeah, there we go. PayPal, a couple other ones. You can build it out. And these are just company tickers you can get from anywhere, okay? But if you want to change these configurations over here, now right now you're showing last, you're showing the change and change percentage, okay? And you have these other columns kind of taking up space for no reason. I'm going to get rid of these, just click on them, and it should pop up. Remove financial instrument, boom, gone. Do you want to remove this? Yes. Don't display this again because I'm going to do this again. Remove. Ooh, we're doing something weird here. Okay, let's not do that. Or let's add them back in. Insert column, financial instrument, boom. Yeah, okay, let's keep that. And let's just keep adding to this chart. Let's keep kind of inserting columns here. Okay, and if you want to do Greeks, if you want to do delta, see delta. If you want to do something else, maybe you want to do something with dividends, you can go down to dividends, dividend date, okay? And if you want to rearrange these, you just kind of pull them over to the right, and you can rearrange them and give you a layout that you want. If you want to do it a quicker way though, a better way, you can just go ahead and actually you can just go this little gear icon here, settings. We're going in, we're going to update a little bit, and we want to add in some things here. So I want to actually see what the price of these is because I don't have a price on these right now. So I want to go prices, open this up, and I want to do last and just add that back in. And if you do that and apply, and you go, okay, now you have the last price that's back in there. But if you want to add a bunch of them, this is a quick way to do it. You just come in here, all these things, you can open them up again, different things, right? You can see where the moving averages are. You can go see more dividend stuff. Let's add in dividend yield. Boom, that's in. Let's go and look at average volume. If you want to do volume, just type in volume up here at the top, right? Volume, boom, let's add that in. Average volume, boom, let's add that in. Okay, if you want to do anything with volatility, let's go options and implied volatility, put that in, okay? And you can just rearrange them in here as well, move that up. Average volume, let's go volume beside that. Let's put implied volatility up here. And let's actually get rid of delta and just kind of leave it like that. The thing you want to find, you just kind of search it in here. You can go through these as well. Anything else? P&L, average price, cost price, daily P&L. Yeah, sure. Let's put daily P&L in. Why not? Okay. Actually, let's get rid of it. And let's do that and apply and see what happens. Okay. Best efforts. That's fine. Don't display this message. Okay. And now you have some different stuff in here, and it's going to replace with other columns that were taking up room. And you can kind of just open these up if you want to see what they actually are with the titles. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And if you want to actually then do the same thing for your portfolio, okay, right now we have some very basic stuff in here. Change last, average price, market value. If you want to actually set this up, position, and your instrument, you can add the same kind of way. You can click and add. Maybe you want to add some Greeks in here, okay? And you want to add one, just hover over it, insert column. Let's go Greeks, let's go Delta. That's in there now, okay? If you guys are options trader, you use Delta. You can't actually drag and drop these ones around. You have to go back to that same gear icon, settings. And now we want to go ahead and change this. So if you want to look over here, this is our portfolio. The trade columns are different, and you can go through and it'll just tell you where you're looking. If we're in here, I want to actually add in some more Greeks. I want to add in theta. Okay, I want to add in position P&L. I want to look at realized P&L. I want to look at unrealized P&L. Let's look at that one. Actually, realize. Let's remove that. And let's look at some other ones. Let's go unrealized. There you go. You can't even see it because it's already in there. But I want P&L percentage. I want P&L percentage. Realized P&L, daily P&L percentage. I don't want those ones. I want to find one. I cannot find this one. This is interesting. It's obviously been changed, or I don't know what to search for, but I can't find unrealized P&L percentage right now. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of digging and find it for a future video. But if you want to search this, you can sort it by whatever the actual like alphabetical title of it is. You can go through it that way as well. You can group it, but you can just kind of drag and drag those in. You can move these around. I'm going to get rid of change. I'm going to get rid of last. Move unrealized P&L up here. I want to put underlying in there, which just shows me the underlying price of the stock that the options are going to be written on. And if I click apply, it's going to look something like that. Okay, so that's the stock price for these actual things. I have my put prices there, and I have my deltas, my theta, my average price. Maybe you want to add cost basis or something else in there, market value, okay, and you can click these if you want to. That's how you kind of separate and look at your portfolio. There's your daily P&L. You can look at unrealized P&L for how much you're actually up or down on the position, and this just means you're down, and this means you're down, this means you're up. And PayPal is getting work today. Again, it's going down like crazy. That's fine. That's how you go through this. If you want to look at actually your account stats, you can open that up, and this little page here is going to open up, and it's going to give you some different kind of things to look at, like net liquidation value, equity with loan, maintenance margin, buying power, excess liquidity, different things like that, which you actually have open for your value there. And you can go through and kind of just look at those as you want them. You can drop these down if you want to. Some of them, close them off. You don't need them. But it just gives you a snapshot of what your account looks like and how it's performing. So let's move over to the actual options chain. This is the last thing I'm going to touch on before we actually go through an example here. And I'm going to just bring our chart back because I want to show you something else. And let's go back to the favorites here and bring the chart back. That's linked up nice. Okay. Bring it back in here. And let's go to Apple's chart. Close this off, keep it simple. Okay, right now as an options seller, I want to see all the strikes available to me, and I only see 8 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I want to be able to see them. You can click on strikes right here to be able to look at, and click on 10, 4, like 4, 6, whatever you want. I like to click all because it shows you all the options that are there, all the strike prices. If you're an options trader like me, you'll be able to see those and act accordingly. You can scroll down, you can scroll up. So these are all the options for that actual day. Here's your expiry dates in the top left, okay? 1 day, 8 day, 15 day. You click this little tab here. We can keep going, click it again, go down to more. And you see that the third Friday in every month is highlighted because it's an option expiry day. The OPEX days, they're different kind of shades, so I like to look on those first. So March 18th is 29 days away. If I want to go a little bit further out than that, whatever your time preference is, you can go all the way down all the way out to 24th, which would be leaps, which we aren't going to cover in this video. But you go in, you go March 18th, let's say, and you can see all your strikes now. If you want to look at the put calls, if you want to look at just the calls, you can do that. If you want to look at just the puts, you can do that. I like to look at both, to have them like that. That's what I'm used to. You can have a tab view. You can have a list view, which is a little bit different. It gives you the actual expiration date in the middle. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to get to the other expiration dates as you go through this, March 4th. Okay, you just keep scrolling and you can go open up different ones down there as well. I like to just keep it as a tab view and go through the actual expiration dates over here. And you've got IV for that actual options week up in the top right, but you're getting all the strikes and you're ready to go and you're ready for action. Okay, if you want to go ahead and sell a put or buy a call or whatever you want to do for options trading, or even just buy shares of a stock. Let's go through those two examples. Let's go through buying shares of a stock. This is the paper account, it's not real money, okay? If I wanted to buy 100 shares of Apple, right now it's trading at, well, let's look over here. Apple, let's sort this, 170.95, okay? Here's your order entry, you're up here. You wanna go ahead, you want to maybe check your chart, zoom in on the chart. This chart's still scoring square. Why is it still showing square? Why we clicked Apple? Why is that happening? Well, let's just refresh our grouping. Go to a different group, back to the other group. Let's see if that changes anything. Click on Tesla. Okay, now sometimes that does happen where you have to just kind of update the chart, make sure it goes. So just change the group once and then change it back and it should be good for you to go. And let's look and see here on the options chain, a little bit of technical analysis for you. Okay, Bollinger Bands down here at 158. That's a pretty good floor. You got boom, 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 3 times, 4 times, 5 times there at the Bollinger Bands. Let's go around that 158, so 160-ish range. Okay, if we come into our actual options chain, a lot of people that I like to teach use the delta when they sell puts, and that's not actually shown on here. So let's change that first before we go to make sure we understand what our risk is. If you're new to this, delta can give you a pinpointed idea of how likely it is you're going to get assigned shares. If you don't know what that means, you should learn what options trading in before doing it, because it can be interesting if you don't know. So we're going to add the Greeks, we're going to add delta. Let's add theta to this as well. And let's just make this apply and see what that looks like now. Okay, so now we have a delta. And that 160 is right on a 22% chance. So that's good for me. What's the actual bid ask? It's 325, 330. So somewhere in the middle, you're going to get filled there. That's good. Okay, now if we want to just straight up buy stocks at the current price, again, the stock price is 170.96. We just go up here. It's a 1 cent spread, so it doesn't really matter if we pick the bid or ask. Let's just go with the ask right here. Let's make sure we're doing a limit order. We can change that to market or whatever else. Let's make sure we're limit 100 shares. We want to make sure that the limit price is the ask price. And to do that, mid price up here we click on. Split the difference. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We don't want price cap. We want none. And this is just for buying. Day and force is day. Let's buy. Okay, make blue is buy, red is sell. Let's make sure we're buying. Again, we want the mid price. Oh no, we want limit price. Sorry, limit price. Click on the middle there, and let's just go through and click 190, 170.94. Limit 100 day in force. You can go advanced and you can look in. It'll pop up and say check margin. It'll give you a little kind of idea of where you're using. You're going to pay 17,000 bucks for this. Your equity with loan's not really going to change. Your margin's going to change a bit, but you're buying shares, and it's you're trying to submit without market data. That's fine. It's going to tell you that, but you shouldn't trade without market data. But in this case, because it's a paper account, you go ahead and do that. Override and transmit. That's how you're going to submit the ticket, the order, or you click on submit down here and you just go boom, and it's probably not going to get filled. I'll display this message again, and it became an order. Okay, it became an order and it got filled right away. Once it is an order, this little check mark comes through. It goes and becomes a trade because the order is filled, and it tells you the exchange, the account, all this other stuff. You don't really need all this crap on here, in my opinion. Let's go to settings, and let's go to. It's actually okay. It's a different kind of layout. You have to check what you want, check what you don't want. Let's go take my account number off, take the exchange off. I don't really care about that. Time drill down. Let's look and see what that looks like. Okay, we don't need this as well. You can also click in here and you should be able to delete these. maybe not. Okay, financial instrument, Apple, bought 100 price. Okay, and then if you go in your portfolio now, you'll be able to see that you bought these shares. Yep. And you'll see what position you are, unrealized, down $5 so far after buying those shares. It's all good. It's all good, no problems, okay? If you want to sell options or buy options, now you're into this options chain here. And we said we like the 160 level for Apple. We want to get paid a little bit of premium, a little juice. So for 30 days, you get paid $2, $200, 100 shares in option contracts. So we're going to click the red button to sell. It's going to throw it up into our options order. And notice the chart just changed and it's showing the option contract chart, not the actual Apple chart. So if you want to just throw this and you can type in Apple or search it there. When you're actually going to buy these or sell these puts, you want to kind of maybe take the chart and just make it into a different group so it doesn't keep updating on you. You know how to do that now. Because if I keep going through these options, if I keep clicking, it's going to keep updating the chart. And that can get very annoying if you're looking at the chart for kind of your technical analysis. So make sure you have the chart off the same grouping when you're doing this. Go through and just select your strike, select your bid or ask. If you're going to sell an option, buy an option, sell is red, buy is blue, put some calls, whatever you're going to do. Okay. And click in here. We want one limit price. We set the limit price and we want to go in between those two. For some reason, we're not able to click the limit price in here like we used to be able to. Maybe it's an update to the way that things are laid out, but we want to keep limit. And the limit between there, 214, 215. Let's go 214 in a day. And let's go through this now. Advanced. It's going to show you your margin again. If you're selling options, you want to make sure you're getting paid. So this is going to go up. This current is going to be less than the post because the post trade is going to go up a little bit. If you're buying options, this is going to go down. Just double check that. Override and transmit. Always make sure you transmit with market data because you're not looking at the old data. And it'll just give you some stats here as well. If you just kind of pull up the quote and it shows you your likelihood of profiting from the trade, your max return, your max loss. That would be in this case if the stock went to 0. And we'll override and transmit this and orders in, and you'll get a little thing pop up and say order filled. Little guy will say order filled, order filled. And you can see here in the orders section, we went through and sold that put, and it was sell limit 214, fill price to 226, not bad. And we got that order filled. So it's a trade now. And now again, it is in our account. We have a Apple put there, 160 put, the underlying is 170, -1, unrealized P&L right there. Market value, okay. Average price 224, delta thetas there working as well. So that's how you go ahead and you can actually sell options, Interactive Brokers. The other thing I'm going to show you guys is if you want to bring back that news, if you want to bring the news back, right down in that article there, search for news. You have different kind of news here. You can go through analyst ratings, price targets, downgrades, everything, different kind of markets. Bring those back. Let's go tip ranks. Honestly, bring it on a different screen if you want to keep it. And you can kind of just go through tip ranks. You can go through different other ones. Zax is pretty good. Depending on what you want to do, you can go through like and search Apple for a specific Apple news. And it'll just start kind of giving you a different screen, and it'll pop up for an advanced search screen. It'll give you some Apple news and it'll just kind of be tailored to you. If you want to look at portfolio news for yourself, that was a good one, actually. It just gives you everything in your portfolio or anything on your watch list. You can go through and do that in here. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it made sense. You guys got yourself set up, running, everything configured the way you need it to be. And if you have any more questions, feel free to send me a comment, shoot me an email at andrew@tradingoptionsdaily.com. Let me know how your trading's going. We'd love to hear some insights if you're an options trader, if you're a buy and hold type of investor. Love to hear back from you, and I will see you guys on the next one.